Okay, once again, it's Derek here with Code 3 Safety. This is going to be video number 4, and this is the last video in the classroom series of videos on incipient fire extinguisher training for Portland Public Schools. In this video, we'll talk about some various subjects related to home fire safety and being able to make sure that your family is safe at home. So let's just talk about a few subjects related to the home. Talk about cooking fires to begin with. So if you're cooking in a grease pan, for instance, at home, you're making bacon, for instance, as we know, sometimes we can certainly have a situation where that gets out of control and we have flames coming up from the bacon grease, for instance. You might be tempted to use this dry chem extinguisher, a 5-pound that you may have in the laundry room or in the garage. But I would say that from my opinion and experience as a firefighter, the best option to use for extinguishment of a grease pan that is on fire on the stovetop is certainly to take a lid and smother the fire. Remember that fire needs 3 things, right? So it needs fuel, the material. It needs heat. It has to be heated to its ignition temperature. And it also needs oxygen. So in this situation, we are taking the lid of the pan and we are putting it onto the pan itself, and we are smothering the fire, lessening the oxygen or eliminating the oxygen, and then simply the fire will go out. That is absolutely the safest way to put out a pan fire in the home. Second to that would be the dry chem extinguisher. What you have to be careful of, though, with this, and I've seen this happen many times in my career, is folks at home in this situation will be too aggressive with this extinguisher and will essentially aim this, like I taught you in one of the earlier videos, at the base of the fire. We want to be careful not to do that with a grease pan fire. We want to be very indirect about our extinguishment here and our approach, and we want to essentially lob the material down over the top of this grease pan, so that the material comes down. We have to be patient. We're not going to put it out right away. But if we get in there, get too close to it, and aim it right at the base of the fire, we're going to cause the grease to splash out onto the countertop, and now we have a fully involved kitchen fire. You're certainly going to be calling the fire department in this situation. So please, again, the best way to put out a grease pan fire is to have a lid nearby, use the lid, and make sure that we suppress the fire in that way. Okay. Secondly, let's talk about smoke alarms. Okay, smoke alarms. Generally speaking here, they should be on every level. They should be either just inside the bedrooms or just outside the bedrooms and in the hallways. If you're in a second story or 2-story home or a multiple story home, they should be also at the top or near the top of each of the stairwells. And of course, the reason for that is the travel of the smoke, right? Smoke is going to, of course, take the path of least resistance, and it is going to climb up the stairwell. So we want to make sure that if we have those bedrooms on the 2nd floor and we're sleeping at night, that we have smoke alarms strategically placed on the 1st floor and in the stairwell that will alarm us while we're sleeping to that fire that has started on the 1st floor, perhaps in the kitchen, we'll say. So make sure that those smoke alarms are installed in the stairwells on the 1st floor, but please do not put them in the kitchen. Those in the kitchen, I've seen this many times in my career, where of course they chirp, they go off every time you cook. So just make sure that those smoke alarms are not in the kitchen. They're just outside the kitchen in the living room, a safe distance away, so that they're not alarming all of the time, and that they will be functional if you do have a kitchen fire. Regarding bedrooms upstairs, make sure that you have an evacuation plan. Make sure that you have a ladder that you can roll out. Kitty, for instance, makes a collapsible ladder that you can put on the windowsill of a bedroom, and you can roll that out, and your family can get out of a 2nd story if the fire has developed to a point where the stairwell is blocked leading out the front door. So that's really important, to make sure that you have 2 ways out wherever you might be. Once you do get out of the house, have a muster location or a meeting place. Okay, we talk about meeting places, and the meeting place is typically in the front yard. Once everyone is out of the home, they're going to meet, your family will meet at the meeting place. Normally it's in the front yard. It could be at the tree in the front yard out by the street. It could be your mailbox. It could even be across the street from your home, a safe distance away. But the idea is that you know where everyone is going to, you have a plan, you practice and carry out the plan. I always recommend once in a while to do fire drills in the home to make sure, especially those of you with kids, that they can get out, get to their meeting place, and that you always teach them how to get out 2 ways. Not only the front door, but how to operate their window, and you have a backup plan. Thank you.